If you take people's standard of living and you tank it through filth and crime and inflation, and they literally can't buy the groceries they want, at that point, maybe it matters less what you say or whether you're a good person or a bad person. You're wrecking people's lives in their country, and that's what our leaders have done to us. And coming to a Russian grocery store, the heart of evil, and seeing what things cost and how people live, it will radicalize you against our leaders. That's how I feel anyway, radicalized. We're not making any of this up, by the way, at all. Grocery store. So we're gonna try and buy what a family of four would buy every week, and we're gonna see what the selection is, and we're gonna see what it costs. Now, Russia is famous for its bread, which is one thing I can assess pretty well. The low-carb lifestyle has not swept Russia. Thank heaven, because I mean, look at that. It's fresh, too. Look at that. Oh, come on. Unicorn and mini mills.
Hey, dude, make me
right.
hot. Cereal. Unicorn cereal. Gotta get some cookies.
Some kind of Russian wheat cookies. Ooh, we need coffee, don't we? Yeah. I don't know if this is sugar or flour, to be honest with you, but
Probably cocaine.
it looks like a staple, so we should get it. It's a very good-looking package. It's got to be flour, right? And this is Russian wine. It's from Crimea, which not only has the warm water naval base, but also is the source of most of the...
And look how he's bragging about the stolen money from Crimea, from the Ukrainians.
grapes in this part of Russia for wine. So it's apparently pretty good. So we were guessing what this would cost. Everybody hears from the United States buys groceries, and we didn't pay any attention to costs as we were just putting in the cart what we would actually eat over a week. And we all came in around $400.
He just claimed that we spent $400 for what he just bought. Can you believe it? How big fat his lies this man.
Thought, corruption. If you take people's standard of living and you tank it through filth and crime and inflation, and they literally can't buy the groceries they want, at that point, maybe it matters less what you say or whether you're a good person or a bad person. You're wrecking people's lives in their country, and that's what our leaders have done to us. And coming to a Russian grocery store, the heart of evil, and seeing what things cost and how people live, it will radicalize you against our leaders. That's how I feel anyway.
Obviously, he consider your intelligence as an American as a person who is a fool and stupid. This is a channel, and you see the name of the channel in the screen. And the video is just made 7 months ago. And made by Russians. Not American, not Christian Prince, have nothing to do with me. And it shows in the video what is the average income between high income and low income. And then you will notice that the little grocery he bought with none of it is really a food. I mean, little bread, wine, cookies, what is that? Go and see the expensive stuff, the meat, and you know. But you will notice here how he's fooling you. Let us see what the income of the Russian is, and then we will find out if the $100 is little, cheap, or not. Let us see. Shall we? Watch the video with me, and this is again the name of the channel. You can check it out. Thank you very much.
И что ты из данных можешь получить, кому-то помочь или не помочь, это очень круто. У меня больше 100 тысяч.
У фермеров только около 30. И каждый день.
Hold on. This farmer, he make $330 and he just spend $104 for cookies and bread. Do you see how he fool you? Do we have anyone in the state make $330 or $1,000 salary? And you notice he said, if you work every day, which means God knows maybe he don't work most of the time. If he got a job to do, he will make the $300.
Мне кажется, это та сфера, которая больше всего имеет на сегодняшний день влияние и на общество, и на рынок. Это, по сути, как вот, это религия. Но я целюсь вот в ближайшем будущем, в ближайший год дойти до 150 на руки.
Я работаю в другом городе, работаю официантом в кофейне. Выходит примерно 40 тысяч, плюс 20 делаю на дому самозанятой.
70 тысяч рублей. Я
a teacher is making as low as $760, and that will cover her rent, her clothing, her makeup. She's a woman. Her shoes, everything. And this is another teacher. His salary is how much? $250. And Trucker Carlson is saying to us how cheap it is to live in Russia. He is insulting your intelligence. He thinks you are just a fool. You are just a stupid. You will not go check it out. Filthy, trashy journalism. Is that the one you trust? Is that the one you believe? Look at their salary. Look at them. Those are real people. Not a millionaire going to do shopping in a store. This woman, she make $330 and she is a cook. And Carlson is telling you how cheap it is to live in Russia.
Сейчас типа от 100 до 160, как-то так.
Who is the fool?
Ну, я знаю, что сделать, чтобы было больше.
He is insulting you.
Чего?
And then you have to calculate the rent, which is different drama. Let us go and check out how much it costs to rent an apartment in a cheap. Oh no, just we found a retirement man who make $130 a month. This guy, he make $210. I mean, life is so good, man. And Trucker Carlson is telling you how cheap it is to live in Russia. Let us go. The video is long. As you see, poor people, $210, $330. Those are real people. They are not paid by Christian Prince. Life is so harsh for those people. And they make Putin that he made their heaven. Heaven. Russia should not be having poor people. This is a very rich country. But you will find that the gang of Putin, they are living in their palaces, driving the most expensive cars. And those people are making $200. This is reality. Now let us go and open a website and see how much it costs to rent or to buy an apartment in Moscow. And then we can find out how cheap it is to live really in Moscow. What we are going to do is a fact check of what Tucker Carlson he said. And those gentlemen who they think really that he is someone telling the truth. But how truthful what he said. For sure, I'm not accusing those young men who they are supposedly conservative of lying. No, they just fell into the trap of Tucker Carlson. When somebody show you a cart, and in the cart there's nothing serious as a food, like what he bought, check out the list and you will see how silly what he bought. Nothing serious. Bread in Russia is very cheap. This is true. But it is still the same price for USA, and we will explain why. In fact, what he just showed us, he said $103 after he calculate, is very expensive for what he bought. You can check every item yourself and check how much is going to cost you in Walmart. And then we need to take a look about how much money an average Russian he make, and then you will see how horrible the price is. So this stupid Carlson, he is telling you how cheap it is for someone is making millions of dollars like him. He go to a fancy grocery stores. The wine he showed you is not even $3, which we can get in Walmart. I had to redo my video actually, because one of you, he says that in the first video when I showed Moscow, one of the website was wrong. It was USA actually. So here we are sure now this is Moscow, and you see the address there in the corner. I will post the link, and you know, we check the prices. I choose a studio, 45 square meter, to see really how much we can get for how much money we have to spend for such a small, tiny apartment. And you see in the screen, I choose a studio. I'm not choosing even one bedroom or something special for, small 45 square meter. I mean, if you have a kid, one son, or if you have two kids, that is very tiny space. And look at the prices. As you see, you can convert this money. Like this is 70,000. This is 700 something dollars. It's almost like 100, to make it easier to convert, 100 to 1. So 70,000 is 700. So how much my salary is going to be in order to rent an apartment for 700, I don't know exactly, you can convert the number, dollars. I have to make at least twice more, because the rest is going to be for food, transportation, health, school, I mean everything, medicine, you never know. And look at the prices. I mean, this is like, we are starting from the cheap ones, supposedly. Small, tiny apartments. So how a person, when they say to you, when they speak about prices and how cheap it is, well, reality is a different story. What if we compare right now to the rent in New York? Right? Rent in New York is very expensive. Extremely expensive. But in order to live in New York, you have to make a very good income. You will not find somebody renting an apartment in New York for $3,000, but yet his salary is $300. So obviously, the one who can afford to live in a place have to make more money than what he is going to spend. Otherwise, there is no point to live there. You will die. You will be homeless. So when this guy speak about how cheap it is, for sure it's cheap for somebody. Like, in Russia, there's extremely rich people, especially in Moscow. The mafia, the gang, the businessmen, the millionaire, the billionaires. I mean, it's very famous about how many billionaires they have in Russia. But is that the case for everybody? And those people, for sure, they will not live in a studio apartment. They will live their own palace. So when this guy he compared to who? And the same goes for if you look for a car. What is the price for a car? What is the price for if you compare, you will be you will not believe it how crazy it is, the prices there. What if I want to buy a TV? Because all of those things matter, Look at the price for such an old car. This is $10,000, $10,500, the price for such a car. You can get this car for $2,000, and even you can get it for 2,000 something, and this one is twice more mileage than the one you can get in USA. Look at the mileage. It is by kilometers. If we look for the same car in USA, and you can do the same, don't maybe I'm going to look for the cheapest. No, don't do that. Just go yourself and check and see how they can afford it, and who can afford that. We go right now and we check to find the same car, or even something newer than this. We cannot find the same car. This is like international website, have all cities in the world, and I choose it because there's kilometers. I want to compare the mileage right away. If I choose an American website, it's going to show you by mile, not kilometer. So if you choose something even newer, not 2001, you will find that even a newer car is way cheaper. There's almost 7,000, more than $7,000 different. And the mileage is not even the half of the one you buy in Russia. So you pay $10,500 in Russia for the same car, have more than twice mileage, and This is where it's cheap. Forget about cars. What if I want to buy a TV? I am an Russian citizen. I want to buy a TV. I'm going to search right now and check. You see, I'm trying to make a full study. If I'm going to live in Russia, how much I'm going to spend. Let us check it out. TV, Moscow, Russia, and all those websites, they came in my way. Let us check them out and see if you want to buy a TV in Russia and if you want to buy a TV in USA. Let us click. I've never been in any of those websites, so let us check them out. So we enter this website and they have all TV, LG, Samsung, Hisense, whatever. There are some names we never heard of them before. You choose anyone. Okay, the first one in front of us in the screen, Hisense, and this is the model number 55E7KQ, 42,999. What is the size of this 55-inch? Let us look for the same. Okay, let us go and check it out. Let us calculate first. Let me calculate how much that will be in dollars. 42,999. Okay, I just calculate in my phone. It's $467.40. This is the price of the TV in Russia, which is equal to the 42,999 ruble. Let us go and check it out in USA. Is it the same? Remember, $467.40. This is the same TV in Target in USA, and the price is $279.99. Let us take it, okay, to $280. But this is almost the half of the price for the same exact TV. Let me be sure first this is the same exact TV. Give me a second, please. Well, it look like it's the same TV, but they have different image. This is why I was confused about, and even it have different name. I think maybe because they are saying it in different country. However, you can check all the list. Look, all of those. TCL 55, C745, 64,000. I mean, there's a huge difference in the price. TVCL, this is 65-inch, I think. C745. I think the numbers in those in Russia, they have different numbers for the models, because even they have different pictures for, like, we don't have those pictures as an icon for the TV. But as you see, like here, if you want to go and get a little bit more expensive brands, Samsung, the prices are going crazy. So we cannot compare between the prices in TVs too. So what is left? Food is not really cheap. Rent is so expensive. TVs are so expensive. Cars are so expensive. So what is the cheap? I will tell you, human being. I just heard today that the opponent of Putin, they found him dead in his jail. This guy is a young man. He killed him. This is what is cheap in Russia. And don't think I'm against Russia. I love the Russian people. I love Russia. I wish I can go and every summer to Russia. But this is not really what this Carlson is talking about. If we search right now in the news, and here you have to think about your security, and maybe tomorrow or the day after I will make a video about the gangs and the mafia in Russia, because Carlson, he spoke about Dubai and Russia are way more safe, and he spoke about the crimes in USA. Well, yes, in USA there's a crimes, and obviously you are one of them. You are faking news, fabricating issues, praising dictators who they are killing anyone who speak against them. If you are a person who live in Russia and you speak against Putin, you will be dead long time ago. And he knew that very well. And that make you the most cheap person, Trucker Carlson, in history. It's not the food is cheap, it's you. Thank you for watching. And don't forget, this is my code, which you can scan always to find my videos and join us on Ramble. God bless you. Thank you very much.